So, today on October 27th, I think it is, 2017, I'm late starting this live stream. Hooray! Yay. This was supposed to be the first ever talk show to test out the new scheduling feature that they have in YouTube. And, I'm late. But that's fine. This live stream will still be 60 minutes long, like I originally planned. The 10-minute beginner thingy from the talk shows is gone now. It's now just going to be 60 minutes long, starting at 5 o'clock every single Friday, which I think is a good length. Unless, of course, some sausage happens in which there will be no talk show at all. But that's besides the point. Hello, everybody. This is Furniture Bob here. Welcome to another talk show. I think you already know there's a talk show by now. I forget what else I was going to say. So this live stream will still be 60 minutes long, don't you worry. I'm not going to end this live stream when it's supposed... well, this is a talk show. So, talk shows are going to be 60 minutes long no matter what. If I'm delayed starting the live stream at 5 or something like that, then, well, so be it. So, news. Well, one of the things on the, balls. One of the things on this side disappeared. Like, this one looks like this. This one is supposed to look like that as well, except obviously this one is inverted because it's the other side. It disappeared. So I get to go all the way to Staples and get some new ones, and I don't even know what's the chances. Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens during the weekend. But yeah, those headphones. It's like these headphones. These headphones were fine. They worked fine. They didn't break in 5 seconds like the previous headphones, like the blue things that I had. Man, those headphones were trash. Like, the stereo in those things was awful. It had an impossible time staying in my ears. It was just a mess, and it only lasted about 2 weeks before it broke down, and which is not surprising at all, because it was just a piece of junk. These headphones are actually pretty well made. Except for the one bit that's just occurred now, so... These headphones, still in good shape, if it weren't for the things. Or we have to go back to Staples because the thing fell off. And now I can't find it. It has officially disappeared from existence. So now I have no choice but to get new ones from Staples, and eventually I'll get some glue and just glue them on so I don't have to deal with that problem ever again. And I'll be able to use those headphones until they break, and hopefully a year. Like these headphones, they last... Well, I've had these since August, I think, and now it's October, so... 2 months I've had these, and I would probably have these for a lot longer if it weren't for the sausagery. But, I mean, yeah, nothing's perfect, but you should at least try to put effort in, I mean, you're never gonna come out with a perfect product, but at least try to make it good. Like, we're not asking for the greatest headphones of all time. We're just asking for headphones that will satisfy our needs. Really? Really indeed. So, what else? What other general news? Train Simulator 2018 has finally been announced. It's like, I don't know. Train TS 2018 is running on a weird schedule that I've noticed. Like, the thing is that, I remember Dovetail were building up the excitement for Great Western Express, and I remember Great Western Express was supposed to come out Great Western Express was supposed to come out, I think it was near the end of August, or maybe that was the end of the pre-ordering date, and then Train Sim World didn't come out until, I think, mid-September or something like that, or early September, I'm not entirely sure. And I was expecting that they were going to do a similar thing that they were going to do for Train Sim 2017, where maybe, oh, for goodness sake, sausagery is occurring? Sausagery is occurring indeed. Oh dear, sausagery is occurring in the group. Botheration. I can't do things. Hang on, I'm gonna be back in a few seconds. Is it still recording as I do this or something like that? I'm not entirely sure. Darn, I should have done a thing with a link, but I had no idea. And I'm back. Now I'm back. There we go. Okay, nothing in the chat while I was gone. Yeah. So, what's going to occur? Well, we'll have to find out. Alright. There you are, Domtron. You're late. Well, I'm late, but you're also late. Why don't you not tell us what's happening? Well, obviously the title says I'm late, but at least it turned up, Domtron's like, why you not tell us what's going on? Me mad. Anyways, so I'm late. I should explain why I was late to getting this live stream started. It's because I went to go to the mall, and Mommy had to do some clothes shopping, and she took much longer than she needed to. So, but hey, better late than never. I'm still gonna make this live stream 60 minutes long, like I originally scheduled. And, yeah. So says, your mom has too many clothes. I agree. You should see her bedroom. Like, as if, like, I don't know. But yeah. Anyways, where's Arlington? He's late as well. Yes, I just farted. Right. Also, why do you have a mustache? What do you mean why I have a mustache? I've been having this mustache for nearly a year now. You're only 16. Well, I'm a man, okay? And I'm smarter than most of the people in the state that I live in. And so I deserve a mustache, because I know everything, you know? Like, I know right from wrong. I know how not to get angry at somebody for some stupid reason. And, other things. Although, if Martin Truex Jr. doesn't win the NASCAR Cup Series Championship this year, I will shave my mustache off. Yeah. So if Truex doesn't win the championships, you can say goodbye to my mustache for the time being, until it eventually comes back in maybe half a year or something like that. I don't know. Like, it's taken me a long time to grow this mustache, and yeah, it's taken me a long time to grow this mustache, and it's gonna go away if Truex doesn't win the championship. Honestly, if Truex doesn't win the championship this year, I am going to just go to NASCAR's HQ and say, fix the playoffs. Like, the thing is that they have the playoffs this year in NASCAR. And, like, yeah, this year they have the playoffs in NASCAR, which is supposed to be different from the chase from 2016. You know, this is 2017, don't you worry. And, although this year, or later on, going into the playoffs in NASCAR now, yeah, there's been a few things which are reminiscent to last year. Like, for example, Kyle Larson blew an engine at Kansas, and even though he won about, what, it wasn't 5 races, about 3 or 4 races. I'm not entirely sure how many races Kyle Larson won this year. But even so, winning races will still not guarantee you a good finish in the point standings, as Kyle Larson proved today. When he blew his engine, so basically Kyle Larson is now out of the championship contention because of something that he had absolutely no control over. Well done, NASCAR. the playoffs kind of fixes the chase from last year, but at the same time, they should just get rid of the multi-round system and just go with what they had back in 2013, where 16 drivers have a chance of competing for the championship, and once the playoffs begin, 16 drivers will compete for the championship. There will basically no elimination system, just 16 drivers qualify for the championship, and just let the points play out until we get to the finale at Homestead. Now, Domtron says you got work to do. You're always working on stuff, Domtron. Seriously, why do they give you so much homework? It's like, why? I don't know. I really don't know. But, yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's just, NASCAR runs on a really ridiculous, well, NASCAR has really ridiculous ways of doing things, let's say, like, you know. So, yeah, playoffs was supposed to fix this problem with the chase, and now, yeah, yeah, I don't know. Now I'm all by myself again. Oh dear. That's one of the problem with these. What? That's one of the problems with these talk shows. It's like I want to try to interact to my fans, using these talk shows, and yet, um, sausagery. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, these talk shows, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not so good, and for right now, they're not so good. Let me see if I can get thinking here. Hang on. Give me a... And I am back once again. Okay, so that does work. Alright, so if somebody does type something in the chat, I can go back and check it and stuff. Yeah, so, I'm back. And I'm gonna still make this 60 minutes long, don't you worry. If sausage... Oh my goodness, it's 5:30, which means I'm gonna be here for another very long time, 15 minutes. So 6:20 this last thing will end. Well done, Freddy Tobopin. Actually, no, this is something in my control. This is something in Mommy's control, because we went to the mall way longer than we should have, and, well, not way longer than we should have. I mean, could have been worse, but sausagery occurred, and nothing can stop sausagery occurring. Not even me. Even though I am the daddy of sausagery, not even I can stop sausagery from happening. And now, the darn thing doesn't work, and, oh dear, hang on again, oh, for goodness sake. And I am back once again. Oh dear. So we're already 11 minutes into the live. Great. We still have several more minutes to go, and there's unfinished water bottle. Hang on, the water's still cold, so I'm going to finish it right now. There you go. So, Train Simulator 2018 has officially been announced. So I think I should get back to what I was talking about Train Simulator 2018 before. So, like I said before, Dovetail Games seems to be running on a very strange schedule this year, where, Great Western Express was a thing. I was expecting it to possibly maybe be a thing included in Train Simulator 2017 or something like that, or be a sausage thingy or something like that. To be honest, I don't know. Hello there, it's Mr. Dirtbar. I saw myself in viewing position. Of course you have. Where have you been, lazy bones? Lazy bones, indeed. So, anyways, back to Train Sim. So, yeah, Great Western Express, I was expecting it to be a thing included in Train Sim 2018. Instead, Train Sim World Great Western Express is its own add-on to Train Sim World CSX Heavy Haul. And, so that's the thing, and I was expecting them to eventually announce Train Sim 2018 in possibly early September or something like that. Or, well, see, the thing is, when Dovetail Games usually announce the new Train Simulator, well, not so Train Simulator, basically more so, what's the word for it? Package thingy, I guess. I'm not really entirely sure. Because the thing with Train Simulator is that, yeah, Train Simulator 2018 is going to be a thing, except Train Simulator 2018 is basically going to be Train Simulator 2017 with, 2017 with some, splash of sausagery. Yeah, let's just say that much. Like, so anyways, back to the thing. So, I was expecting them to announce Train Simulator 2018 in maybe late August, early September. And when it came to near the end of September, I was like, they still haven't announced Train Simulator 2018. Are they going to announce it later on or not do it at all? And then, then eventually we came to mid-October, and I had pretty much thought that there was never going to be a Train Sim in 2018. I figured, Train Simulator 2017 was going to be the final version of Train Simulator, the Train Sim 1, and that was that, because they were busy with Train Sim World and stuff like that. That's what I thought. Until last Tuesday, well, Wednesday, technically, like Tuesday, so it was a day in Wednesday, last Wednesday, I went on Twitter, and I was scrolling down through my Twitter feed, and I noticed that Train Simulator had made a Twitter post talking about an update for Train Sim World Great Western Express, talking about they fixed some glitches and bugs and things, along with releasing a new paint job for the Class 66 EWS. Yeah, so basically a free paint scheme with this new update, which was interesting. And then I looked toward the side to see the other articles and stuff, and there it was. Get ready for Train Simulator 2018. There it was. It was small at first, but eventually I looked over to the right, and there it was. So I clicked on the article, and there it was. The full description for Train Simulator 2018. So, Train Simulator 2018. Let's see. So we have dank memes that will ruin your dreams. He just farted. Yeah, that's interesting. I fart all the time, except not really much on camera. So, yeah. Anyway, so Train Simulator 2018. If you haven't read the article, so it comes with the North Wales coastal route from somewhere to somewhere. I can't remember the destinations, which is a Train Simulator 2018 exclusive. At least for now it is. I wouldn't be surprised that next year with Train Simulator 2019, if that's going to be a thing, I wouldn't be surprised with that you could get as a DLC. But for the time being, it's going to be a Train Simulator 2018 exclusive, which means that you cannot get this anywhere else. Anywhere else. Let's see. I'm gonna make dank memes and other things. Well, there's one slight problem. Dank memes are dead. Yeah, dank memes were a thing, but eventually they died in about mid-2016. So, yeah. So at this point, dank memes are dead. So, I don't know. Pretty much, let's see. No, peeps do still make them. Well, yeah, maybe people who make dank memes now can't really be taken seriously because, yeah, dank memes are dead. They I don't know. I never thought that dank memes were funny, and honestly, like, most of the time, dank memes just seem to be, like, PS is not a swear word. Oh. Are you sure? Yeah, because, since you're new here, one thing I should say is that this is a family-friendly show, so no swearing is allowed. Just saying. So, if you're a person out there looking for family-friendly content to watch, subscribe to Fronito Bobbin, because that's exactly what this channel has to offer. Family-friendly content that you can watch whether you're 5 years old or 55 years old, or even older, maybe 500 years old. Yeah, I know, I was just exaggerating there. Although, could a person actually live up to 500 if they tried? Because it seems that, darn it, what was I saying? Like, it seems that, like, most people might die at about maybe 120 or something. Like they say that the maximum a person can live to is 120 years old. But is that really true? Because, like the question is that how do you die from old age? Like, yeah, it's understandable if you might die from, maybe, say, you got killed in a car accident. Yeah, this is a family-friendly show, and we're talking about death. Yeah, this is totally family-friendly. I mean, yeah, but But dying from old age, is that really a thing? I'm not really sure. So yeah, that's a good question. Can a person live up to 500 years? Can be 500 years old. I don't know. Well, I think it's a challenge for Fronito Bobbin to find out. I'm gonna live for 500 years, maybe even over 9,000 years, and see if dying from old age is actually possible. I mean, yeah, it's happened to people in the past, but you know, like something has to be the cause of your death. Like, I don't know, it just doesn't seem logical for you to die just because you got old. Like, you have to die from something, like whether it be a heart attack or a car accident or maybe you cried yourself to death because somebody cheated on you. And you know, there has to be a logical reason for if you die. Like, you can't, you like, it just doesn't seem, maybe I'm a complete dummy and I don't know this stuff, but it just doesn't seem logical for you to die just because you got old or something. Like, you know. Or maybe I don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't know. If somebody can answer that question, then somebody can answer if they want to. You know, maybe I'm just some kind of Russian spy that's making up a bunch of random rubbish that I'm just because I've got nothing better to say. Anyways, back to Train Sim. So, yeah, Train Sim 2018. You've got 3 routes this year with a total of 11 trains plus the Train Sim Academy. Although Train Sim Academy doesn't really count anymore for older players like me. Like at this point I can pretty much call myself a veteran in Train Sim. I mean, yeah, I still can't drive without the HUD, but well, HUD is life, I guess, for Train Sim. But then again, I think only about 2% of Train Simulator players actually can play without the HUD, whereas the other 98% pretty much uses the HUD and stuff like that. But I do use the keyboard controls for Train Sim, so there's that. Yeah. So, anyways, I originally got Train Simulator 2015 back in late 2014, and that was the first ever Train Simulator to come with Train Simulator Academy, and Train Simulator Academy has been included with, oh, for goodness sake. Okay, we got a troll here. Timeout for you. Okay, good. What else was I talking about? Train Sim. Train Sim, Train Sim, Train Sim. Darn it, I forgot what I was talking about. Anyway, so we got Train Sim Academy, but if you're brand new to Train Sim, like if Train Sim 2018 is gonna be the first ever Train Simulator that you will get, Train Sim Academy will be new to you, and you can use it to teach yourself how to, well, not really teach yourself, like it does teach you how to drive a train, like Train Simulator 20, like the Train Simulator Academy will teach you how to drive trains if you've never played Train Simulator in your life. Like when I first received Train Simulator 2015 way back in 2014, I pretty much already knew how to drive the trains there because I had seen loads and loads of videos of people play the game before I actually got it for myself. But yeah, at this point, I think I can call myself a veteran for Train Simulator, not because, well, I still drive with the HUD, but at the same time, I own many reskins, and, well, reskins, I should say, reskins, obviously not payware reskins, no. I have always stayed away from payware reskins, and I will continue to stay away from payware reskins. Yeah, payware reskins, there's no point because there's a bunch of free reskins. Yeah, it's the free reskins that I go after. Because they're free, which means they cost $0, which means I can download more free reskins than I really need to. Because that's life. Heck, I might even be releasing some of my own free reskins sooner or later. Yeah, this weekend, or last weekend, I got into the action with reskins, and reskinning is actually pretty easy. In fact, I think now I could already do it without having to look at a video. Maybe I also need to do a bit of a test by myself to really see if I can really make reskins without having to look up video while doing so, and other things. So there's that. There's that indeed. There is that indeed. So anyways, back to Train Sim. So Train Sim 2018, now let's get to the actual contents of Train Sim 2018. So it comes with the, so the three routes in question are the North Wales Coastal from Thingy with Derby Flip, which comes with 3 trains. They've got the Peninsula Corridor, got very bad connection for some odd reason. The Peninsula Corridor from somewhere to somewhere else, and you have the go away YouTube with your very bad connection. You're just talking about fake news at this point. I thought so. Anyways, and you've got the what's it called? The one from Garmisch to Innsbruck. It has a proper name for it, but I can't remember what it is right now. Because, sausage reasons, I guess I have to scratch my eye, because reasons, how fantastic of me to do that. So, yeah, so, basically, so the key trains that you got here is you got the Super Voyager, the Class 221 Voyager, I think it's Class, or 221, I think it's the 221, I'm not entirely sure. And it's only taken them 10 years. But we finally have official Virgin Trains licensing on a train. Like Train Simulator has been around for, I think, 10 years now. And in the past, they've brought in trains that are owned by Virgin Trains, but they've brought them in some kind of fictional paint scheme. Like, here's the story. So, back in 2011, when they made the West Coast Main Line North, they also released the Class 390 Pendolino, which was the Class 390, which was basically the train, basically the sold separately train for the day, because I guess including the Class 390 with West Coast Main Line North is a no for Dovetail. But thankfully, the West Coast Main Line North and the Class 390 are both now very low prices, and if you want to get them for that really low price, you can do that in either the summer sale or the Christmas sale or the sausage sale or whatever sale is going on. I managed to get both the I remember in the September sale, I managed to get both the West Coast Main Line North and the Class 390 Pendolino both for $10.50, which I think is fantastic value. Yeah. Yeah, fantastic value indeed. Anyways, so basically what I got was a train for a 100-mile route that is very old. But anyways, it's, like I said before, it's still fantastic value. Anyways, so, Virgin Trains licensing, finally, in Train Simulator. We have been waiting for this for a million years. So yeah, and it doesn't just stop there. Like, it started out with the Class 390 Pendolino, and when they brought the train to Train Simulator, instead of bringing it into the Virgin Trains livery that it runs in real life, they brought in 3 fictional paint schemes. Those being the Inner City Swallow paint scheme, the GNER paint scheme, and I forget the third one. What was it? Inner City. And the third one was like this knockoff Virgin Trains reskin. I forget the name, but it's the red one with the yellow stripes and stuff like that. I think you know the paint scheme that I'm talking about. So you got those. And 3 fictional paint schemes is nice, but obviously they couldn't get the licensing for Virgin Trains, so they had to bring it into those paint schemes instead. Thankfully, the community has happily made Virgin Trains race scheme for the Class 390 Pendolino. I even was smart to download it the same day that I got the train and did a live stream with it as well, which was fun indeed. So yeah. So I think at this point, well, I don't know. We'll see if sausagery occurs in Train Sim, but I think I'll get more detail later. So it took them, and then it didn't just end there. Then in 2013, I think it was, or 14, I'm not entirely sure, they came out with the East Coast Main Line from London to Peterborough. And that is a line that is now owned by Virgin Trains, although when they decided to bring the route to Train Simulator, it wasn't, obviously at the time it hadn't been taken over by Virgin Trains yet, but at the time, but even so, they brought in an HST, and at the time, on that HST, it would have East Coast on the coaches and the locomotives, except the East Coast branding that it would normally say wasn't there on the trains. On train signage, it would it had the gray HST, except the East Coast words that's supposed to be on the side of the locomotive and the coaches. Well, is the Class 43 really a locomotive, or if it's more of a diesel multiple unit? I'm not entirely sure. I guess we'll call it a locomotive for the time being until somebody can correct me on that. But anyway, so the locomotive and the coaches didn't have any brand. They didn't have the East Coast words on them. They were just gray, they had gray and stuff like that. And yeah, so I was wondering, well, why don't they have the East Coast paint job on there, the logos and stuff? Well, I found out a while later, and it's to do with the licensing. I guess Dovetail Games couldn't pay for the licensing to put the East Coast branding on the trains, and so they decided to just basically put the thingies on there because reasons. Yeah, reasons. reasons indeed. Anyways, so yeah, and then a year later when they made the Class 91 for Train Simulator, the Class 91 for Train Sim, my stomach just grumbled. Yeah, they brought that in Inner City Swallow livery, and apparently, according to the texture files, the Class 91 was originally going to be in the East Coast livery. And then East Coast said, no, you can't put that in Train Simulator, so they hastily painted the Class 91 into Inner City Swallow livery. What a way to cut corners. Yeah, so, but I'm sure someone has made the Virgin Trains reskin for the Class 91 as well. So there you go. They made it for the East Coast livery. Yeah, so that. And now it is October 2017. Well, Train Sim 2018 is coming out in November 2017. And I'll be getting it during the Christmas sale for $12, like I have done for the past 3 years now. And counting. And, darn it, I forgot what I was going to say. Dang it, I forgot what I was going to say. Hello there, Arlington. You're alive. Hang on, I'm just going to quickly bring you back to being the moderator because, I might as well get rid of the moderator suspension thing with Adobe Flips because it does nothing. But, yeah, Sir Arlington, now you can be moderated again, so don't time somebody up for no reason. And there's sausages in the chat. There are indeed. I have deleted the messages though, so sausagery. Yeah, so I think I'll let Arlington take care of them. But remember, Arlington, no timing out people for no reason. That is illegal. This is illegal, you know. Anyways, back to Train Sim. So yeah, now it's we're coming up to the release of Train Sim 2018, and they finally have official Virgin logos. Yes, finally on Train Simulator we got official Virgin licensing on the Class 221 Voyager, which is good because it only took them 10 years to do it. And even though the community has kind of filled in this gap for us before that, it is the first official DLC for Train Simulator that has official Virgin licensing and logos and things. Which is good. I wonder if they'll put the other trains into the Virgin licensing. I don't know. Maybe what they'll do is that for all future DLCs that requires the Virgin licensing, they will obviously have the official Virgin logos on there, but because this is Train Simulator, I think every past DLC that would have the Virgin logos will be just ignored. But I guess that's fine because the community has kind of already filled in this gap for us. In a way. Yeah, I would say so. Bang coaches. So, what else to talk about? Indeed. Let's think. I forget. Well, it's in a got a heritage unit. Awesome. Heritage units are rare these days. Rare indeed. Rare. Yeah. Where. That's funny right there. Dang it, I forgot what I was talking about. But yeah, Virgin Licensing finally, and with the North Wales Coastal, you've also got the Class 175, which is now an old train. And, let's see, Norfolk and Southern 1070 Wabash. Interesting. But yeah, so you also got the Class 175, which I presume is still the same thing as it was with Bristol to Cardiff last year. Last year, indeed. So that train isn't going anywhere. And you've also got the Class 158 in Arrivia Trains livery as well, which does it? Does it sausagize or no? Like, have they actually updated the 158, or they just left the default sound? I don't know. We'll have to find out. We'll see what Maverick Hunter Daniel says when he eventually gets around to reviewing Train Simulator 2018. Let's see. Says another heritage unit went by through today and I missed it. Oh dear. But yeah, so anyways, now on to the next route. So now you got the Peninsula Corridor for Train Simulator 2017. Yeah, obviously, or 2018 now. Yeah, the Peninsula Corridor, obviously, it came out earlier this year, or I think it was late last year, I can't really remember. By the way, you're so close to 900 subscribers. Indeed, Arlington. I'm almost at 900 subscribers, which means I'll be doing the 900 subscriber special very soon. There you go. Lovely burping. Train. So yeah, the Peninsula Corridor comes with two trains, the MP36-something and the GP38-2. And one thing that's interesting about the Peninsula Corridor is that it comes with, well, I've already said the trains that it comes with, but it comes with the same MP36. I'll get to that later. The MP36. It just happens to be the same locomotive that MBTA owns. I'm not sure if they still own those. I think they do. Yeah, that was originally going to be the new locomotive that MBTA was going to purchase until they decided to purchase the MP36 instead, which was probably a better choice because MBTA now wants to be unique with the locomotives as opposed to many of the other commuter railroads in the United States that may own MP36s. Like Caltrains is one of them, obviously. The Peninsula Corridor is in California, so it obviously utilizes the Caltrains trains. The trains, thingies, trains, Caltrains, trains. And that's only one of the commuter American railroads that utilizes the that locomotive. Like, what are the ones here? I don't know. But obviously there's MBTA, and I hear noises. MBTA is obviously one of them. There's probably a bunch of other ones that I can't think of off the top of my head, but there's probably more. And I think Go Transit might own one, but own some. But I think when I eventually do get the MP36 in Train Sim 2018, I'm going to try to reskin it into the MBTA paint scheme, unless of course somebody has already done so. I'll make sure I do my research to see if somebody in the community has already done it or not. If not, I'm going to do it myself. Yep, and then hopefully people will use it to death because reasons. Yeah, and the GP38 should be interesting as well, to say the least. What else? What else to talk about? And the final route is the Mittenwaldenbahn, which is now I remembered, from Garmisch, Pakistan to Lübeck. No, not Lübeck. Lübeck is in the other part of Germany. Garmisch, Pakistan to Innsbruck, which I think is in Austria. So I read it, and it comes with the article, and it comes with the BR2 something, the EMU one, and it also comes with the other Austrian locomotive, which I still can't remember the name of. I don't remember what the other train was, but I'll have to look it up later on. Hopefully I remember to do so by the time I'm done with this live stream. And I'm not gonna put my bets on it, but it might just be the Railjet. Well, maybe not the exact Railjet. Maybe like the Taurus or something like that. Yeah, it's the Taurus train. You know, the one that came with the Simmeringbahn route. Like, if it is, then I'm gonna be really excited. Um, unless of course it's the U4 Taurus, which has the more boring electric sounding engine. Like okay, like there's two different versions of like the Railjet or the thingy we're doing for them. I'm not sure what the locomotive is exactly called, but you've got the U2, which has the interesting sounds where it goes like da na 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 na. There you go. I don't know. That sounds a bit silly. But you know how it like goes up as you accelerate, like it sounds like musical, and then you've got the U4 Taurus, which sounds a bit more generic in a way. So I'm kind of hoping that they brought in the U2 Taurus because that's the one that I prefer the sounds of. So I think Dovetail was gonna bring in the Railjet at some point. I don't remember. I think apparently Dovetail Games once said they were gonna bring the Railjet to Train Simulator. I don't know. I really need to do my research. I really do. Yeah. So there's that. And yeah. So 3 routes for the price of one for Train Simulator 2018. And what's also good is that it'll be going on sale in Christmas sale. And it'll be hopefully as low as $12 like it usually is, and I can get it then. And then Train Simulator will go from Train Simulator 2017 to Train Simulator 2018 on my YouTube channel. Basically, whenever I get Train Simulator 2018, every video that I do on Train Simulator from then on will count as Train Simulator 2018. Because, yeah, that's why. like I'm not gonna retitle all my videos to be Train Simulator 2018 because it's technically still the same game. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just change the playlist a bit, like I have the playlist, like I've got Train Simulator 2017 Special, Train Simulator 2017 mods and stuff, and you might notice that some of the videos go as far as back as being titled Train Simulator 2016. So what's gonna be the plan is that the playlist will be changed to the number 2018, considering it's Train Simulator 2018 now, but obviously, the videos that I made in Train Simulator 2017 will still be known and will still have the name Train Simulator 2017, except, of course, any live stream or video onwards will be branded as Train Simulator 2018. So there you go. Because I'm not going to change the title on my videos just because it's sausage. It's, like, let's be honest, it's basically the same game with a new title, but whatever. Who cares? But should be interesting. No, it's just blah 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 5 times. Well, hey, this is a talk show. And talk show, you talk about things. Anyway, now it just says, can I have my baby bottle? Yes, you can have your baby bottle, because I see that you're crying again. The loveliness is over 9,000. So yeah, there you go. Train Sim 2018 has been confirmed. It took a while for it to get confirmed, but now it officially has, which is good. Good. Also, now it's 6:03. Yeah. That's like, no poo! Anyways, so back to the poop. Yeah, normally this would be the time that I would end this live stream, but obviously it has to continue on, because even though I was late getting this live stream started, I want it still to be 60 minutes long, because I still have some more stuff to talk about. He says and can't think of something to talk about. Yay me. I just realized that drawing that I made a long time ago. I wonder if I can make that for Train Simulator. That could be interesting. That was a drawing that I made a long time ago. I can't believe those drawings are still up there after a million years. Maybe I'll show those off one day. Maybe. Not right now because it's also Greece. Bank Coaches not died. No, Bank Coaches didn't die. Bank Coaches is alive and well. Yeah, thankfully Bank Coaches wasn't one of the engines to get replaced by one of the new token female characters coming in Season 22 of Thomas Big World Adventures. Like, okay, I think now it's time for me to discuss Thomas Big World Adventures. It's only appropriate that I do so. So, Thomas and Friends Big World Adventures. We're still almost a year away from the release of Train Sim. Yeah, Thomas and Friends Big World Adventures. And yet everybody is already saying that Big World Adventures is going to be terrible. Okay, yes. There are a few factors in Big World Adventures that you may not like. Like, for example, Edward and Henry being replaced by the two new female engines, Nia and Rebecca. And whilst I do, find that just a little bit sad, I can understand why they're doing it, because the thing is that Edward and Henry have been in the Thomas and Friends universe ever since the very beginning. And since they've been in the series for such a long time, the writers are running out of original stories for them as main characters, and honestly, I'm not surprised that they are, because honestly, if I was sticking with the same characters for such a long time, I would probably run out of original stories to write, and so I would make up some new things, make up some new characters maybe, and so I can fully understand why they're ditching Edward and Henry from the Steam Team. It's because since now we have these two new female engines, it means a whole new possibility for a whole bunch of new stories to come, not just in Season 22, but every season and possibly movie onwards. I mean, if Thomas and Friends is going to be around for another 70 years, like they once said in that one interview, then it's going to need to maybe change some things up, so it's not like the same redundant series, like, every single year. Like, like change is a good thing. Well, change is a good thing if you change it correctly. If you change it in a bad way, then yes, change can be a bad thing. But I'm perfectly fine with them. I mean, well, okay, maybe I'm a little bit sad to see Henry and Edward go, because I'll be honest, I kind of like those characters. But at the same time, I really don't blame the writers for running out of original stories. I mean, again, I would probably run out of original stories, and so I would want to change some stuff up. And so Nia and Rebecca, we'll see how well they bring those into the series. We're still waiting for the next episode of Season 21. Possibly the episode where Henry leaves the Steam Team, because we've already seen now how Edward leaves the Steam Team. Basically, James, or bank coaches as we call him, his brakes fail, and he crashes into the sheds, damaging Edward's shed, and then Shedward. I remember somebody said that this is like a missed opportunity episode with the title. Like some say they should have called this episode Shedward, and I can understand why. And so now we've seen how Edward leaves the Steam Team. We'll still be seeing how Henry leaves the Steam Team. Maybe he goes somewhere else, and then eventually they bring in the new characters in the following season or movie. And now all I can just ask, is it a new series or a movie? I'm still trying to, get that. Like, we're still waiting for confirmation if that's a thing. Like one thing that me and probably nobody knows, I'm not sure. Like one thing that I'm not sure of about Big World Adventures, like, some say that Big World Adventures is going to be the 2018 special. Others say that Big World Adventures is going to be basically Season 22. Obviously, we're still waiting for confirmation about that and stuff like that, so that'll be interesting. So, yeah. So, anyways, on the Big World Adventures, so, everybody keeps saying that Big World Adventures needs to fail. Thomas and Friends is about to die. It's like this is the end. This is Adventure Ends. This is the Sharon Miller era all over again. I don't know. It's just the one thing that I don't like is that people are being so negative about Big World Adventures, and the worst part is that Big World Adventures hasn't even come out yet. It hasn't even been released from Mattel's HQ. It's still a thing in development, and people are already seeing that people are already judging. Darn it! What was I saying? It's like everyone is doubting Everyone is doubting Big World Adventures before it's even come out yet. Like, okay, it's okay to be skeptical, but don't just downright say that it's going to be the worst thing ever before it's even a thing. I mean, yeah, it's a thing, but nobody has seen it yet. That's the thing. And I feel it's a bit early for them to be teasing Big World Adventures like they're now just midway through season 21, and I'm expecting the first speck of Big World Adventures in this like movie or season 22 whatever won't be a thing until until summer 2018 and stuff like that. And we're still a long way from then. Like the 2017 NASCAR season hasn't even ended yet. We're still 4 races to go in the 2017. 4 races to go in the 2017 NASCAR season. And by then in 2018 will be obviously in the middle of the NASCAR season. Obviously the Daytona 500 has already happened, and hopefully Chase Elliott actually has some wins. Go Chase Elliott. And I'm getting a bit derailed, but anyways, back to Thomas and Friends. So yeah, it's still a very long time till we see anything, whether episode or movie, of Big World Adventures. Obviously, we have some clips for Big World Adventures, such as Nia's introduction and a bit of sorcery from Rebecca crashing into the back of the Fat Controller. Like, we've seen stuff like that, so we've heard their voices and stuff like that, but the thing that we haven't seen yet is the thing in its own self. Like, we're seeing previews of Big World Adventures, we're seeing a few trailers of Big World Adventures, but we haven't seen Big World Adventures in its own self, like the movie or the series or whatever it's going to be. And even so, people are already judging it and saying that it's basically going to be the worst thing since the Miller era of Thomas and Friends. And I think that is just depressing. Like this is what many people did, including me, leading up to the release of NASCAR Heat Evolution. Like, I remember, before NASCAR Heat Evolution came out, I was already judging the game, but then again, I was a very complaining person back in 2016. Obviously, I'm still a complaining person now, but at least I wouldn't go straight to conclusions with things that haven't even been out yet. And yeah, honestly, Big World Adventures is now feeling like NASCAR Heat Evolution all over again. Except instead of being on the negative side like I was for NASCAR Heat Evolution, I'm on, let's say, the semi-positive side for Big World Adventures. And I don't know. It's like, the thing is that Big World Adventures is getting so much backlash before it's even released. I mean, I could understand if Big World Adventures were getting backlashed when it was released, but you know what they say, don't judge a book by its cover. That's the thing. I don't know. I mean, one thing I am a bit skeptical about, like I watched the little clip where Rebecca crashed into the back of hit the back of the Fat Controller, and well, he didn't directly hit the back of the Fat Controller, but I think you know what I mean. And so, darn it, what was I thinking? Or what was I saying? So, in that clip, I did see the engines were moving around like they did in Journey Beyond Sodor. That I'm a bit skeptical about. Like, I thought they had pretty much gotten rid of the bouncing after Journey Beyond Sodor. Nope, apparently they must have animated a few of the episodes of Season 21 before they started animating Journey Beyond Sodor. And some bouncing did turn up later on in Season 21. Yeah. I think the most apparent moment where bouncing was occurring was New Cran on the Dock, where Salty was talking to Cranky and he was moving his body around. And so, it's not officially going to be a thing in Big World Adventures, and I'm not so sure about that. I don't know, but again, only time will tell. And I'm not super positive about Big World Adventures, but at the same time, I just don't know why the fan base is complaining about it before it's even released. And I don't know. Apparently, some people are saying, "Oh, but Big World Adventure is gonna be bad because they got rid of Evan and Henry, replaced it with these two new female agents." I think, yeah. I don't know. So, yeah. Anyways, there's my thoughts on Big World Adventures. Yeah. Definitely looking forward to it, to say the least. Anyways, back to Arlington. So he says, "Is the Fat Controller coming to my house?" Yes, he is. He's coming there very soon, and now he's under a freeze warning. Oh dear. Yeah, it's getting colder as we get into the winter months. You know, I think it's almost the end of fall, and I think December is when winter officially begins. So there you go. So there you go. There you go. So anyways, back to the things. What was I talking about? What was I talking about? I don't remember. Darn it. I was gonna say something, but I forgot what it was. Yeah, Big World Adventures. Let's see. I think that will go into like general news. I think. Let's see. It says, "I don't think I'll be able to watch Shed 17 on Halloween with you and Dumpster because I'm going to a sausage party." Oh, come on, you silly sausage. We're supposed to be watching Shed 17 and stuff like that. I don't know. But we'll see what happens on Halloween night. Yep, Halloween night, me, Dumptron, and Arlington will be watching Shed 17 together. The fan-made horror story for Thomas and Friends. Yes, indeed. Anyways, so other general news. Let's see. They released an update for Forza Motorsport 7. Apparently. So now we'll go on a quick talk about Forza Motorsport 7. Forza Motorsport 7. It's a good game. Except it's full of bugs and glitches and other things. I mean, yeah. Well, okay, maybe not full of bugs and glitches, but I have run into those now and again, and it's getting a bit annoying now. Yeah. Let's see. Can we watch Timothy instead? He says. No, I think it's best if we go with Shed 17, because that's what we've been planning for a long time now, and now it's officially the time to do it, which is great. And also they recently released a DLC for NASCAR Heat 2, and you're probably wondering, what's my opinion on the latest DLC for NASCAR Heat 2? Well, okay, so 704 Games learned a lot from NASCAR Heat Evolution, but one thing they didn't learn. Yeah. Arlington says, "Good. Now I'm gonna have nightmares for a few weeks." Oh well. But anyways, back to Sausagery. Yeah, okay, they learned things from NASCAR Heat Evolution. Like, they learned not to be super pretentious. They learned not to get somebody who can barely play video games, and they actually did the marketing part properly. Only thing they didn't learn is how to do DLC. Yeah. Apparently 704 Games still haven't lost their fetish for releasing paint schemes. Here's the problem with that. Paint schemes is something that should be included with the product, not something that should be sold separately. I discussed this in NASCAR Heat Evolution, and the same points can apply here. Come on, 704. I thought you learned your lesson from NASCAR Heat Evolution. And once you've learned most of the mistakes that you made in NASCAR Heat Evolution, you still haven't learned about DLC things. That's why I said balls. They hit the gas for the 1 hour mark. Yeah, I know. Oh, well, let's see, 16, 619, yeah, so it's ending a bit late as well, but that's perfectly fine. So hopefully they actually learn the lesson for NASCAR Heat 2 in the future or something like that, and maybe release some DLC that will actually help and enhance the experience, because, well, Nintendo 4 Games like to say that this DLC will enhance the game. It really doesn't. It just basically takes out content that should have been included with the game and just selling it as DLC. It's basically like the Train Simulator Marketplace. Where are we going tomorrow? Well, tomorrow, for Train Sim 2017, we're going back in time to the heyday of Train Simulator routes and content and things. And you'll find out more when the time comes. But Train Sim 2017 live stream is going to be fun this weekend because we're going to be going to 3 different routes, all from the good old days of Train Simulator, when it was in its heyday before it went to the ridiculous business model that it has now. But yeah. Anyways, that is officially the end of this live stream. Yeah, it's a bit over.